Hey guys, as most of you probably know or saw, I was protesting today in downtown, and I was gonna type out my experience and why I was out there, but my fingers are just so sore from all the other posts I've had to do lately. So I thought I'd just do a video and kind of talk about it. Um, First thing I'll say is why I was protesting. Obviously, I am upset with the election results. I'm shocked, honestly, that Donald Trump won or even came close to winning, and I wanted to initiate change. I wanted to try to be better than the people that I know support him, and I wanted to make my voice heard because there's only so much you can do on Facebook, and only so many people care what you put on Facebook. And I honestly believe that the best way to get change is a conversation, and no one really sees what you put on Facebook except for the few people that care enough to be on Facebook. But out there on the street, everyone saw me. People will go home and say, "Hey, I saw a Trump protester the other day," and they'll go to work and they'll say, "What do you think about this? Should he have been out there?" And it starts people talking, and if no one talks, nothing gets done. So I'll start off by saying what happened out there. Um, Mostly pretty nice people, a lot more support than hate. A lot of people, said good job, honked, thumbs up, and all that stuff. I thought that was really nice. It was really comforting to know that I wasn't just out there being lame, which I guess some of you might think I was, but I don't really care. um, the Trump supporters who are still out there, still rude, still living in their own world. Um, Most of them flipped me off. Didn't really faze me too much. Someone lean out the window, go get a job. I thought that was really funny because I have a job. I have two jobs. I work like over 60 hours a week. I got one day off, and I spent that day fighting for what I believe in. So thanks for your concern, though. Uh, um, some people took pictures. A lot of people took pictures. Some of them, I'm sure, will put on Facebook about how much of a loser I am and how much I should have just stayed at home and Trump won. Shut your mouth. But some people, I think, gradually or genuinely wanted to get my picture and put it on Facebook and talk about change and start a conversation again, like I was saying before. The demographics of support that I got, hugely vast. I had white men, white women, Mexicans, black people, um, very, Middle Eastern people, Chinese people, the whole thing. The funny thing I thought was every single Trump supporter I had was a white man, and I can't make that up. I mean, I could, but I'm not. Every single one of them, just a plain white middle aged man, all so grumpy in their face. I don't know if they had ever experienced happiness before, but it didn't look like it. And I think that just speaks volumes. And I granted this isn't the whole population. This is, one town that's a pretty democratic town. But all white men were against me. Um, Besides the ones who gave me support. Anyone who spoke up out their car or flipped me off, everything, just white men. This country's so much more than white men. And I think that it just shows you what kind of people voted for Trump. It wasn't, a huge, you know, big melting pot of people. I mean, I'm sure there were some minorities who did. I see all the time on Facebook about how, gay people voted for Trump, Muslims voted for Trump. I don't know how true that is, but apparently it's there. So, whatever. I think one of the reasons it's really important for me to protest and people like me is people who support Trump will automatically write off protesters based on who they are, how they look. They'll write off women. They'll just say, "Oh, she's just upset because the woman lost." They'll write up, Muslims because they'll say, "Well, of course they're upset. Trump's gonna deport them and, or kick him out of the country, make him register." If they see a Mexican person doing it, they'll just say, "I hope Trump does kick him out of the country or whatever." But I'm just this white man protesting, and that's important. Um, Obviously, I'll try to word this right because I'm not trying to sound like bad or anything, but it's important to stand out of the majority that did vote for Trump. The majority of Trump's voters were white Americans, specifically white men. I'm a white man and I did not support Trump. I still don't. I didn't vote for Trump. So people will see that and then they'll really start to wonder why. Why is he out here? I had someone yell out their car at me, "Why are you out here?" Now, he could have just meant, "Why are you out here? Go home." But he leaned into the "you" a lot. And I thought that was really interesting because it was almost like he was asking me, why am I a white man out here protesting? Why aren't I just happy that Trump won and go home? Because I'm not happy that Trump won. I didn't want Trump to win in the first place. I'm against almost everything that he stands for. I'm against, how he wants to treat immigrants, how he wants to treat Muslims, how he wants to take away the LGBTQ plus votes. That's not right. I don't support that. So I think that everyone who wants to should protest. I think it's really important. But if you are against Trump in one of those groups that isn't, statistically, I think it's that more important because you will really start to initiate questions and conversation because people will just be confused and that's what you want. Change doesn't happen by mutual understanding. People have to question what they're doing, question what they're seeing, and I think I did that today, and I also stood up for what I believed in and all the people that I know who are upset with this outcome and who should rightfully be upset with this and whose lives could be very bad for a while. And I think it's important me saying that I'm standing up for them almost more than I'm standing up for me because things aren't really going to change for me that much. As a straight man, I could marry anyway. As a white man, the Trump supporters will pretty much leave me alone, unless they know that I'm against him. And I feel like it's so important to see. And I'm still shocked that any of this even had to happen, that this came to this. But don't take it lying down. Go out there and fight it. Stand up for yourself. And more importantly, stand up for other people. Because standing up for yourself will only get you so far. You need to make people realize that this isn't just about me and I'm still out here, for 3 hours protesting it. Because I believe in it that much. Because you have to be passionate about something or people will just write it off instantly. And so, I'm proud of myself. Obviously I didn't do any of this to get, attention or anything. I honestly wanted to be out there and I wanted to get my voice heard, and I'm glad I did this. It was a really eye-opening experience. I will definitely do it again. Just seeing the people's faces when they supported my sign and everything, it's just priceless. They, were just in shock that, like I said before, even someone like me, there were a lot of, black people who drove by and were just smiled at me, and I had one guy say he was proud of me because I'm not usually who they would see standing up for them. I know that's bad to say. I know it's sad that there isn't more people. There aren't more people like me doing it, but it's the truth. And that's one of the reasons why I think it's so important to be out there, no matter who you are, what you look like, what you believe in, what you want to see happen, because it's needed. Right now more than ever, the change is needed and the people's voices are needed. So, that's all I really have to say. I don't videotape myself very often, so sorry if it comes off as awkward. But, I just want to let you know what I saw out there and what I experienced. And, thanks for watching. If you didn't watch, fine. If you want to unfriend me, the button's over there somewhere.